Well, good evening to everyone who's on tonight. I want to say blessings and peace to you, your family, wherever you may be at. I hope that all is well. I often say, regardless of your jurisdiction, I really sincerely pray that your family is well, that if your mother is still living, give her a call. If your father is still living, give him a call. Give those who have influenced you in your life, give those who have shown you love, who have done things for you in your life, have given you a hand up, not a hand out, but have really matured and helped you along the way in life. Give them a call just to say, hey, I appreciate you. You don't know what a person is going through. So as we begin tonight's show, we're going to talk about the need for truth. We're going to talk about the need for truth. The person you will be in 5 years depend largely on the information you feed your mind today. By picking up a book, read it, the people you spend time with, and conversations you engage in. So when you pick up a book and read, and the people that you engage in conversation with is going to determine where you're going to be at in the next 5 years. We're going to talk about the need for truth. That's tonight's topic, the need for truth. And when I say the need for truth, that is simply to say that a lot of times things are done in darkness, and it is done in such a way till it affects people subliminally, to where they're not really paying attention to what's actually happening around them, but it is affecting them. So therefore, there's a need for truth. In Freemason, we often talk about what were we in search of. Well, in Freemason, we say we are in search of truth. And if that is true, that we are in search of that which is lost, which is truth, then let us engage in that conversation. Let us have that honest conversation in regards to Freemasonry and the truth. Let us have that conversation in regards to society and what is actually happening around us and the truth. Let's not just back away from it. Let's look at things for what they really are in front of us. Not some magical show, but what is actually happening in front of us. When we see individuals who jogging down the street and they get bum rushed, what they call a modern day lynching, that's something that needs to be talked about. When you have police officers who are going into the wrong home and shooting up the wrong home and killing the homeowner of the home, that's something to talk about. That's something you must go in search of and see the truth behind it. What is really going on? When you see individuals who are running from the police but yet get gunned down and sling down, shot in the back, people want to shy away from those types of conversation because they feel, well, that they are Masons and they shouldn't be having these types of conversation. When you know that the government, when you know that the government is like just, woo, there's nothing wrong with having an honest conversation about life and what's taking place around us. There's nothing wrong with that, but we are so shy. Those of you who are Masons and Eastern Stars, you don't want to talk about the truth. You don't want to talk about the things that are really happening and affecting your lodge and your chapters. You want to talk about it. You want to make it seem as if you have the best jurisdiction. You have the best chapter. And trust me, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But what you do is you can't throw rocks living in a glass house. You can't do that. When you have people in your community that looks like you, and you drive by them, but you tend not to pay them any mind because you think that you better than. Come on now, this is not what this fraternity is all about. The principles of this organization, organization is to impose no limit on the search for truth. That is one of the principles of Freemasonry, is to impose no limit on the search for truth. That's just one of the principles. There's actually probably about 9 principles of Freemasonry that no one likes to talk about. And we're going to have that conversation tonight. And if you choose to call in, I certainly would appreciate it. I really would. And I hope, as always, that you would get something out of this conversation tonight, because in this in this show, or the shows that we try to present to you, the literature we try to give to you, the things we want to give to you is something you can go back and look for yourself. Okay? That's what we want you to do. Not just take my word for it, but go look for yourself and find that which is lost. And to the common person who's probably on this page tonight in regards to Freemasonry and Eastern Star, it looks to you as if the Freemasons and the Order of the Eastern Star is this one big happy family. It seems to you on the outside looking in like, wow, I really want to be a Mason. I really want to be an Eastern Star. You're checking us out. You see that some of us are doing pretty well in life. And you want to be around people that's doing pretty well in life. So Freemasonry, the Order of the Eastern Star, draws you in because you see for yourself the examples of how to be a woman, the example of how to be a man, because there are Masons and Eastern Stars out there across various jurisdictions that are being the example. So when you see that brother of the craft, when you see that sister of the order, you tend to want to say, damn, I like what that guy's all about. I like what she's all about. I like how she carries herself. I like how he carries himself. I like that action. There's something about them that's, I want to be I want to be part of what they're in. So you go out and you seek the Freemasons and you seek the Eastern Stars, believing that this fraternal order is something grander, that when you is something bigger than you are. And that is half truth. That's half truth. The other part of the truth that is missing is those individuals who do not display the essence of Freemasonry in the Eastern Star. That's the other half of the truth. The fact of the matter is, most of the time, a lot of Freemasons and Eastern Stars don't really study the craft. That is the truth. They don't. So Alex Fitzgerald said everyone. He says everyone is born in darkness, even the truth. Example, stars are born in and plants are born in the darkness of the soil. And tell me the reason why. I have my reason why, and I agree with you. But tell me your reason why is that so, Alex Fitzgerald? Since you plainly put it out there so eloquently, tell me, break that down to me the way you got it, because my ideal of why everything you just put is the truth, I'm going to bring it to light on a different perspective. And I hope that you will be here to hear that. So, as we journey tonight, some of us are afraid to go down the rabbit hole. Let's just be honest. Those of you, and I'm calling you out, those of you who are mostly Christians, you've been Baptist all your life, you've been Catholic all your life, you've been a Muslim all your life. That's what you was brought up in, that was your mama and daddy in. That's all you know. So anytime anybody else tries to share some information with you, usually you lock down. You lock down. I've come across some of you. You don't want to have that conversation. You lock down. You like, nah, I don't want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear it. But that's not what being a Christian is really all about, because even your Messiah, the Christ man, said, renew your mind daily, meditation. And as soon as somebody mentioned to you, my brothers and sisters, about meditating, you be like, meditating? What meditating? It's not like some spooky stuff. But when you begin to open up to the universe, when you begin to go down that rabbit hole, when you begin to really dig deep, drop some breadcrumbs along the way, because there's going to be some things that's going to frighten you. There's some things going to make you go, And tonight is that type of show. So we're going to talk about the principles of Freemasonry, along with the need for truth as we journey. And with that being said, I think I can go on right here. So, As we get down, I'm just going to send a big shout out to those who are coming on. What's up, Travis? I appreciate you. Alex, I appreciate you. Thank you. North Side View. I likes that. What's up, Big Mac? I appreciate you coming on. Brother Larry Diamond, as always, I appreciate you. Jason Harden, what's going on, brother? I hope everything is well with you. So for those who are just coming on, just want to say thank you for tuning in tonight as we talk about the need for truth. Once again, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it once again. The person you will be in 5 years depend largely on the information you feed your mind today. Pick up a book and read. The people you spend time with in conversation you engage in will affect you for the rest of your life. They will. This is why, for me, and for the lodge that I am in, and I like bragging about my lodge. I do. I really do. If you are a Mason and Eastern Star, you should enjoy bragging about your lodge if it's the truth about your lodge. I'm not saying that the things I tell you is truth about my lodge because I've experienced them. I've enjoyed the craft for 32 years in the same Masonic lodge. Hadn't changed, hadn't flipped. Okay? So, I say that to say this. This is a true story. And I didn't find it to be fascinating, but I found it to be the truth. There was a brother I was talking to today. He might come on the show later on. And he said, Brother Hawkins, this whole thing is crazy. This whole pandemic is crazy. So we got to conversating. And I told him, I said, I'm not a Republican, nor am I a Democrat. I am an independent. Okay? I am an independent voter. I have voted Republican and I have voted democratically. Okay? So we got into the conversation. And he said something that really touched me in a sense. And I understood it. He does quite well in life for what he does. And he said that one of his Masonic brothers, who lives across the street, a couple of houses down from him, because he's just purchasing a new home, is really having a real rough time. A real rough time. And the guy's very highly educated. You know, he's making good money on his job. In tonight's conversation we had, he said, I could not sit and watch him struggle like that, being in my position to assist or aid him. So he said to me, he said, this is what I did, Brother Hawkins. He said, I have a job that is coming up. And I gave him the contract for this particular job to do. He said the contract was worth, the part of the contract that he gave him was worth $30,000. The part of the contract that he gave this brother was worth $30,000. Okay? So he gave him the contract to help his family out. That speaks volumes about what we're supposed to be about. It wasn't about this brother's jurisdiction at all. It was about the mere fact that he saw the need, that this brother needed some help, some aid, some assistance. Not a handout, but a hand up. So he did that. And this is what Masonry, the Eastern Star, is supposed to be all about. When you indulge yourself in really searching for the truth, if you really want to get down to it, you're not limited in this thing called truth. Everybody have their own truth. Okay? Everybody have their own truth. What I may see in something, you may not see. And that's really okay. This is the best part about being in search of the truth, is that we can agree to disagree without having a fallout or losing friendships. Okay? That's the uniqueness about the search of truth. We can see the same thing. Have a great conversation about it. I may see it a little bit differently than you do. But there's no way where we should fall out over something that we're looking at or partaking in. And this is what happens in Freemasonry a lot of times. Brothers join various jurisdictions. And when they have friendships in these jurisdictions, one brother may say, just because you're over there, I can't talk to you no more. What type of stuff what is that really all about? You brothers who go join other jurisdictions and then you look back on the one you left, the one that raised you, and you turn a blind eye because somebody said they was unrecognized or something. That doesn't make sense. I'm talking to you brothers who leave the various jurisdictions that raised you from a dead level to a living perpendicular, that gave you life in Freemasonry. And you leave them and go turn your back on them and then tell the people that assisted and aided you that you can't deal with them no more? I'm just saying, this happens. So to you outside individuals who are looking to become a Mason or an Eastern Star, I'm going to tell you this. Be cautious. And the reason I say to be cautious is because when you join these fraternal lodges and chapters, somebody's going to want something from you. Be cautious. I know I've been in the lodge long enough to know that individuals have used Masonry and used the membership and the brotherhood. I know they have. They come before the altar. Well, you know, I need some rent monies. And the brothers are like, yeah, we got you. The next month, you come before the altar. You come before a brother. You find a brother or a sister. And I need some gas money. And they help you. But when you are in need every month, every other month, you shouldn't have never been a Mason. You shouldn't have never been an Eastern Star. See, when they say Masons and Eastern Stars are out to help a good man or a good woman to become a better man or a better woman, you know, the part that most people miss is the fact that you're already good. The fact that you're already there. The fact that now you're going to come into a situation or circumstances around other people who are like-minded. That's the uniqueness of Freemasonry, is being around people like-minded, people who want something out of life. If you find yourself in a chapter or a lodge and you are in search of truth, but the people that are in there that are not in search of anything but a good time and party, that's not the lodge or chapter for you. Now, if you like the party, do your thing. But if you really are interested in Freemasonry, and if you're really interested in the Order of the Eastern Star, then that's not the lodge, nor is that the chapter for you. We're talking about truth tonight. We're talking about Freemasonry imposes no limits on the search of truth. That's what we're talking about tonight. But some of you got this thing twisted. I mean, literally got it twisted. And this is where we're at tonight. Okay. Freemasonry also inquires that a person who comes into the order be tolerant. I ain't said be stupid. I said be tolerant. Okay? You can walk away from ignorant people and you can walk away from people who are talking nonsense. So you have to be tolerant. You have to be able to pull yourself out of a conversation that is detrimental to your growth. Okay? If you're having a conversation with somebody and it's not helping you to grow, you need to leave the conversation. Plain and simple. You need to leave that conversation. Good evening, Wayne. What's going on with you? I hope everything is well with your family and friends. To everybody who's coming on, I hope and pray that things are well with your family and friends. Malcolm Prophet, 57, as the living Father hath sent me, and I'm living by faith, so he that eateth me, even he shall live by me. Oh, you part of that cult thing, huh, Malcolm? I'm just saying. Darkness is divine. Yes, Brother Alex Fitzgerald, darkness is divine. Let's take a look at what you're saying, because we're talking about in search of truth. All right? Everything that is precious. Hear me clearly. Because in Freemason, we said coming from darkness to light. So everything that is precious in the darkness is being formed, made, and shaped in darkness. Everything that is precious. Let's take a look, for instance. Where do you find oil? beneath the soil, very deep into the earth. It's very precious. Where do you find materials and metals and things that you need to run cell phones and gadgets around the house? Those things are found beneath the earth. It takes pressure, it takes time to build it up. So those things that we use for the cell phones and those things we use for the laptops and our lighting, those things are precious because they were shaped in darkness. So when we went and dug them out of the earth, we was able to use them because they have been formed already. Another thing that happens in darkness that Brother Alex was saying, but I wanted him to expound on it some more. So we're talking about those precious things that are found in darkness. Even a pearl, which is found in an oyster, is formed in darkness. Diamonds, which taken by the coal beneath the earth, has so much pressures on it and so much pressure on it until you crack that coal, comes out with a diamond, which is able to cut anything almost. Just like the womb of a woman, she wear a dress to hide that because it's precious. She's fully covered up. And this is what I respect about those members who are part of the Muslim family and those who are part of the various organizations that have them to wear fully clothing. Okay, because that's precious. That ain't for everybody to touch. It ain't for everybody to have. So a woman in that respect, she covers her whole body from her head to her toe. Because she knows that everybody is not worthy of seeing or holding or touching what she has beneath that. So yes, everything that is hidden in darkness is something of precious value. As he said so earlier about the stars that is formed out of darkness, that gives light from the heavens to the earth. So when we talk about the need for truth, let's just be honest about some things that take place in these various fraternities, such as the Freemason in the Order of the Eastern Star. Let's have some truth talk about that tonight. Light Traveler, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Man, Light Traveler, you've been on this show for a minute, bruh. You know what? You should call in. You really should call in. I appreciate the gift and the offering, Light Traveler. I really do. Thank you very much. So as we begin the need for truth, we must be honest with ourselves on this journey in Freemasonry. We have to be honest because Freemasonry is a very, very beautiful fraternity. It is. And I've made some great friends along the way across all jurisdictions. I have done that. And I've enjoyed the privilege of being a Mason. And this is what draws the average person who sees a Mason. See, as I said, to the common person who's out there, and they see you as a Mason, they see you as carrying yourself a little different from the preacher, from the deacon, from the elder of the church. They see you carrying yourself a little bit differently. They're somebody that they look up and they can relate to. Because you who are Masons and who are Eastern Stars, once upon a time, and even now, it meant something to be a Mason in Eastern Star. That is why those people of prominency, such as presidents, kings, and priests and Catholics, I mean, it doesn't matter about your religion. This is why these individuals were part of the Freemasons. Because it meant something. There are Catholics, you know, you heard that Catholics can be Mason. Please, I know quite a few Catholics who are Masons. You know, do they go around beaming it and telling everybody? No, they don't. But there are quite a few of them out there. So tonight, as we have this topic in regards to the need for truth, let's just be honest about Freemasonry, what it is and what it is not. Because some of us have come in with this high school mentality. My school is better than your school. You're right down the street from the same school. The same kids go to the same school. But since you feel that your school is so much better, you have this rival, this beef. Not knowing that at the end of the day, after you have finished the 12th grade, both of you are going to end up with a diploma. And either one of you are either going to go to trade school, you're either going to hit the streets, or you're going to go to college. That's for sure. Trade school, the streets, or college. That's what you have. So when we look at Freemasonry, we must be honest about those individuals who were paid the way, including Prince Hall and those 14 other gentlemen who paid the way, including John G. Jones, who paid the way, William Grant, William Gray, who paid the way. There's a lot of black people who have paid the way in Freemasonry. And I'm not going to separate them and say they was this or that. They were Freemasons. Be it Thurgood Marshall, be it my comedian, Richard Pryor, be it what's my little Gary Coleman, Nat King Cole, be it my sister, she was a poet, Maya Angelou, who was an Eastern Star. You know, those individuals, they knew that being a part of this organization meant something. What does it mean to you? They knew that when they was part of the Freemasons, they had a family. It meant it. You have this family. No matter where you go in the United States, you're going to find an Eastern Star or Mason. That's just the truth. In the beginning, the void was darkness, where all things were created. Absolutely. Absolutely correct. It says that. It says that right there in your Bible. But look what has come out of that void. You know? If the word is God, is it not who you are? Is serpent, it separates you from you yourself, or hunger in yourself, are thirsty of the life that is internal in one spirit in the first heaven. I likes that. You know? So to the sisters and to the brothers of the craft, to the newbies, be cautious, pay attention and watch. Get involved. When I say get involved, I mean get involved with what's going on in your area, your sector, your community. Don't sit idly by. Oh, I'm a Mason, I'm an Eastern Star. When you are a Mason and Eastern Star, you have a charge, you have a call to get involved. You do. Being a Mason, being an Eastern Star, you have a call. Your calling is to be involved. Your calling is not just to sit on the sideline and say, well, you know what, I'm going to get towed up. That's not your calling when you are a Mason or an Eastern Star. It's not. Your calling is truth. Your calling is when the city council have a meeting, you need to be there. For those who can't be there, and take that information back and assemble that information amongst those who are not able to be there, or those who may not really understand what's going on. I'm going to tell you about me and how I see this and where I get that idea from. I try to be part of those things that affect my community. Be it the neighborhood council meetings that we have. They meet every first Thursday, second first Thursday. Be it part of the Black Man United and Black Sisters United. Be it the Black Police Association. Be it the NAACP. Anything that I be part of to get me the information, to assimilate the information to those who may not be able to be there or get that information to them, to be able to assist them along the way. Because here's what I found in this journey of Freemasonry. When you have access to things that other people don't have, you're really able to give them the best service. Okay? Accessibility. What is it that you have access to that can help somebody along the way? Every Grand Lodge, and I'm speaking mainly of mainstream Grand Lodges that I've had dealings with, and brothers that I've had dealings with. If a brother comes and asks another brother from that jurisdiction, they have resources to where they're able to assist that brother. Every Grand Lodge should have resources to assist somebody in their chapter or in their lodge, bar none. That's true. Every Grand Lodge should have something there in their jurisdiction to be able to assist their members along their journey in life. When I say assist, I'm clearly saying resources. What resources do your lodge or Grand Lodge have to assist you in this journey in the search of truth and becoming that better man or that better woman? Because it's truly a privilege to be a Mason. It's truly a privilege to be an Eastern Star. And to the outside people looking in, they see us as role models when you are successful. They do. You can say whatever you want to say. When I drive around in my community where I live here in San Diego, and for those who know me, and I try to stay pretty active, when they see me, I want to be the example of the Mason. So when I wear the shirt with the compass and square on it, I want to be that example. I want to say, yeah, if you want to be a Mason, check this out. I want to be able to explain it, break it down, and give it to them. I don't want to tell them I can't talk to them later, because I may not see them later. I want to give them the information they need and be the example of what they want to be part of. You know how we do it. The nasty nobles. I don't know where that came into play. You know, nobles are not nasty. I don't know how they managed to have the Shriners to be calling themselves nasty. If you was really initiated correctly, if you was really taken through the Muslim task correctly, you wouldn't be saying that. If you was taken correctly through the process of the Muslim task as you was on your journey to become a nobleman, keyword, a nobleman, you wouldn't be calling yourself a nasty noble. Now granted, who am I to talk? Well, I felt that way at one time. I didn't know no better. I felt that way. I'm a nasty noble. I did. I felt that way. I did. You know? And the reason I felt that way was I thought that was the thing to do. Until I began to read. Till I began to really talk to those nobles who have been around for a long time. When they heard me talk, I'm a nasty young man. You're a nasty noble young man. That's that young man. That's not how we do it here in Khalif Shrine Temple number 4 in San Diego. That's not how we do it, young man. So therefore, hold on just a second. I'm gonna turn this volume down. So therefore, that's you don't do that here. And this temple isn't your shrine a temple? Is it not named after various prophets and gods? Isis temple, Khalif Shrine temple, Muhammad temple. Listen to the names of these various shrine temples that most of us are part of. And look and read and find out the meaning of the names that they have. It would be very interesting. Very interesting. So as we are in search of the truth, the need for the truth, we find out things that are before us are not necessarily as they seem. It's like abracadabra. I did a video on that, and that was pretty interesting. You know, it's like somebody showing you something, and what you're looking at is not necessarily what it is. But if you're going to be truthful about it, be the example. Hold yourself to a different standards than those that are around you. Look at your circle. You know, in Freemason, we take a circle and put a dot in it. And then we take that compass and we make a 360-degree circle. I don't know why many of you think that because you got a 33rd, you're done. That's it. It's over. I've reached the pinnacle on the Scottish Rite, York Rite side. It's 360 degrees in a circle, and you should know that. So if it's 360 degrees in a circle, at 32 you're barely unthaw. At 33 you're just to unfreeze. There's more. And this is why it's important when you're in the search of truth. You just can't be so closed-minded to think that all you have is your truth and that's it. It is so much more out there. It is just so much more. Hold on just a second. I just want to straighten. Oh, I don't want that to fall down. Hold on. Let me move that out the way. Boom. There you go right there. It's a little bit better. A little bit better. So as we begin this journey tonight and have this conversation, you feel free to call in and express yourself. Let me know what you think about it. And let's have this say so. To our brothers and sisters, African American brothers and sisters who have lost their life in this COVID, COVID-19, this virus that has taken the lives of quite a few people. Let's remember their families in prayer. Okay? Let's remember their families in prayer. And please, whatever you do, take care of yourself. Eat right. Wash your hands. Don't put your... Simple things. Keep yourself healthy. Take vitamin D. Take vitamin C. I'm telling you this because this is information I know. Okay? Not something that somebody told me. I work in the medical field. I'm just giving it to you raw. Vitamin C, vitamin D, the hot teas that you like to have, those things help. Okay? Herbs help. All right? I'm just giving it to you like that. Now you can take the information and do whatever you want to do with it. I'm just letting you know the things that actually help and work. And there is a brochure that is out there on the web about those who have beat the virus, and they are telling you what they did to beat this virus. Listen to them. They've been in the fight. Check them out. They've been in the fight. So listen to what they have to say. Listen to what they have to say. So tonight, as we begin, herbal tea, room temperature. Greetings, can I help you? Hello?
Yeah, I was hearing what you were talking about. There are more degrees than the 36 53rd.
Right.
And I just want to comment on that. Not right. I heard the people that we got make from, which have England, was discussed on the degree. So where do we get these degrees from?
Hold on. Your volume is up kind of high, so I'm not really getting all what you have to say. So you may have to repeat that.
Oh, okay. I was just going to know where to get the degree past 33.
How do you,
where is that at?
where do you get past 33?
Yeah, where do you do that at? Because
Well, it varies. I mean, because now it depends on what jurisdiction you're in. I would tell you this here. You might want to turn your video down in the background. I'm getting feedback. I would tell you this. There are various jurisdictions that practice what we call the primitive rites, or the rites of Memphis. There are various jurisdictions that practice this, including mainstream Grand Lodges. They practice it, but they call it the college degrees. That's what they call it. And in these particular degrees, you would study the what I would consider the truth in regards to Freemasonry, the esoteric, that deep hidden mysteries of Freemasonry. That's what I've gotten out of it. That's why I say often you got to drop them breadcrumbs along the way, because it's going to push it. If all you got is the Bible, and if all you got is the Quran, and this is it, this is going to push those beliefs. Okay, I'm just letting you know this is going to push those beliefs. So I think I lost his call, or it dropped. I think he called in from North Carolina, somewhere like that. But anyway, let's go on with tonight's show as we talk about the search and the need for truth. Even when we're dealing with situations and circumstances when it comes to racism, there's some truth in that. Let's just be honest, but most people don't want to talk about it. Most brothers and most sisters of the Eastern Star and Freemason, they don't want to talk about it. They want to shy away from that. but that affects our community. So why not talk about it? Why not stand up and be a voice to be heard in regards to those who are voiceless? This is why it's important for you to be involved in the various committees in your city and town and state. Nothing happens unless you are involved. If you are involved, all you can be is on the sideline talking. That's it. You can talk, well, you should have never voted for him. But you're not involved. You don't go to the school committee meetings to hear what they're educating your kids about. So you have no voice. You don't go down to City Hall and see the plans that they're about to do to the city. So you have no voice. If you want a voice, you have to get involved. Okay? You have to get involved. You cannot sit on the sideline and complain about what's going on in your community and you're not even involved. Now, granted, everybody is not capable of being involved because of what's happening in their life. So what you have to do is be able to assimilate that information, get that information to those who can't go to the meetings. There's nothing wrong with that. Get it to them. And let them make the decision for themselves based on the information that you gave them, and then have them to research some more information. The need for truth is very important. It's very important when you're a Mason. That's why I was telling you that it has no limits. That's principle number 2 in Freemasonry. In my jurisdiction, the need for truth has no limits. That's a principle. The next one is, it is required to be tolerance. We talked about that. Freemason reminds all of us, its members, to respect the laws. To respect the laws. I ain't got to agree to every law. I can respect it. Okay? Now, the next thing, Masonry is an association of independent men and women. Ooh, no, I didn't say that. I said independent men and women. Yes, there are women who are Freemasons. Yeah, that's true. But Freemasonry is made up of independent people, free-thinking people, like-minded people, people that starts a task. When you start that task, you invoke the blessings of deity, and then begin your journey. That's what you do. That's how it's done. So I've been on here for a little while. I'm just going to go back and see if I can catch some of the comments. What we got? Good evening there, brother Archie. What's up? Danny White, what's going on? Mr. James. Good so far. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Mr. James. Mr. James. Now, the object is the application, the object of Masonry and the application of Freemasonry. When we talk about these working tools that we use and how we apply them to our life and what we do with them as we are on this journey, there are some working tools within Freemasonry that is used to bury you. Hear me clearly. There are some working tools in Freemasonry that will be used to bury you. Period. That's truth. That's what we're talking about, right? See, you know that old spiritual song that says I think it says, one glad morning when this life is over, I'm going to fly away. Well, in Freemasonry, there's an hourglass with wings on it. It teaches us that just like the sands in that hourglass, every grain is precious and it just slips away. Time is something that you're able to give, but you can't get it back. I mean, come on now, somebody talk to me. Time is something that you're able to give, but you can't give it back. It is one of the most precious gifts that you can give anybody is your time. So as you indulge yourself in Freemasonry, it tells us that Masonry shouldn't interfere with your family, your work, or your religious beliefs. Oh, you didn't know that? Come on now. It shouldn't. What Masonry should do, it should enhance your beliefs. If you're a Muslim and the Quran is that VSL, it should enhance that. You're a Christian and that Bible is your VSL, it should enhance that. You have a Torah, it should enhance that. You have a Kabbalah, it should enhance that. Whatever your faith is, whatever that belief is, whatever that thing is that is inside of that ruah, that is inside of you, that VSL that you have, that it factor, it should enhance that. This is why it's important when you start your journey. You should always invoke the blessings of deity. That was one of the most important lessons that I was given when I was into apprentice. And especially after I became a Master Mason, I understood that even clearer. This is why on this journey that you're on, and you're using your level and your compass and your square, you're using the pickaxe, you're using the shovel, you're using the crowbar, oh man. Every degree has a working tool. And then once you've gotten those working tools in every degree, you start dealing with astrology. See, when you're on the Scottish Rite side, and these different degrees mean something according to astrology. Oh, come on, you gotta know that. You have to know that. Let's see what we got. But sad language was taken away from us. We don't know the language to pray to our ancestors. I don't. Well, let me help you. I'm going to help you on this one. I'm going to help you on this one, brother. Because I've shared my altar in my home with those who, I've shared it. And I have the pictures of my ancestors on there. And you stated that because we don't know our language and it was taken from us, we don't know the language to pray to the ancestors. You take this English language, my brother, or my sister, and you and at your altar, wherever it may be, at your altar, hear me clearly, at your altar, you invoke those blessings by talking to those ancestors. You invoke those blessings by talking to the Creator. That's how you do that. You go into that quiet place, that meditation place, and you invoke those blessings by speaking it into existence. Your circle, look who's around you. If you got people that's always bringing you mess, they don't need to be in your circle. If that's all you got. Your circle needs to have people that's going to help lift you up. You're going to help lift them up. If that's not what's happening in your circle, then that's not a good circle. If your conversation, your circle is about on Saturday and Friday night, we're finna get towed up, that's not a good circle. Your circle. Once again, I'm going to use my circle for an example. I want my circle, or I have my circle that's going to help me to benefit from those that are around me, and I benefit them. That's my circle. If my brother or my sister is in need in my circle, I need to have more than $10 to rub together. Okay? That's my circle. If my brother came to me and said, look, man, and this is a true story. This is a factual true story. I had a brother to come to me. And he said, look, I need 5 G's. And I thought about it. I'm like, 5 G's, do I really want to? Now, this is where trust come into play, because now you're messing with somebody's money. I'm just going to be honest with you. And he said, yeah, this is what I need, and this is why I need it. I'll give it back to you in 3 months. I'm like, God, woo, all right. I gave it to him. It's a blessing to be able to give it. And to give it, and for him to give it back. It's true. And he looked like me. Why should I want to give it to anybody else besides somebody that looks like me that's trying to come up and do some things? That's the type of circle you want to be in. Everybody in your circle should want to prosper. Everybody. Okay? And that's the uniqueness about your lodge, your chapter. Everybody in there should want to come up. I'm not saying you're not going to have some people in there who don't want to see you prosper. I didn't say that, but I say everyone in there should want to see you prosper, and you should want to see them prosper. I have a sister. She's no longer in my chapter, but she only lives a few houses up from me. Do you think because she's no longer in my chapter, I'm not going to look out for her? Oh no, she's an Eastern Star for life as long as I'm concerned. That's truth. She's an Eastern Star for life. So if you're in search of truth, those individuals around you got to be in search of truth. They got to be truthful to you, and you have to be true. I'm not saying you're never going to have no disagreements, but there should be more good times than bad times. So you should be able to look at the immolation of a woman, of those 5 points. You should be able to look at the Master Mason who represents King Solomon. Really, he represents somebody else, but we say King Solomon because we practice a European type of Freemasonry. That's going to be another subject for another day. Hear me clearly on that. Okay? So we King Solomon as the example. Paramabith as the example. We become those characters that we portray. As the example of a Mason. But there are some other examples we should look out for. Who are they? Jubilee, Jubilee. Those ruffians. And I've been called a ruffians before. I've been called a ruffian. You're nothing but a ruffian. You're a coward. You're eavesdropper. I've been called those things before. But I'm okay with that because I know who I am. I'm secure about me. And that's the difference a lot of times. A lot of Masons are not secure about who they are. A lot of sisters are not secure about who they are. So what they do is they throw darts at you. You know, that's what they do. They throw darts at you. So look, as always, I hope that you've gotten some out of this. The search for truth, the need for truth, and there is a need for it. So what you need to do, brothers, if you are in the appending bodies of the degrees, and if you are in the inter-apprentice, the fellowcraft, the master mason, you want to be able to, as an inter-apprentice, take your working tools and use them in the search of truth. Your fellowcraft. Fellowcraft degree opens up everything to you. And it prepares you for the rabbit hole. The fellowcraft degree, man, it prepares you for the rabbit hole. The Master Mason degree prepares you to, as you're on that journey, you're not going to be swayed. You're not going to be easily pushed one way or the other, but you're a free thinker. So therefore, if you're able to make up your own mind on this journey. Now, as you're able to do that, so you take those working tools of each of those previous degrees and you start to apply them on that journey. All right? So you take the chisel and you begin to chisel your way along that journey. You use the gavel as you use that chisel and you chop and you pitch and you do your thing with those. And then you break out that level and then make sure on your way, wherever you're going on your journey, that your way is level. And that you're walking upright. You're plumb in your journey. And as you are on that journey, you're plumb. You want to make sure you're square. And as you find yourself square, plumb, and you're level, you know, you want to make sure that when you enter those holy royal, when you enter the holy royal ark, and you go through those previous degrees, and you walk by those veils, when you get there, you should be, man, I I can go somewhere with it, but I'm gonna leave that alone. So look, I'm gonna have to cut it short tonight. I hope that you've gotten some out of this, man. I really do. Malcolm Prophet, there you go, writing in Arabic. I appreciate that, but you should let me know what it means. I need that Malcolm Prophet. I need that one. I likes that. I needs that. So as we begin to journey the volume of Sacred Law, absolutely, VSL. You know, no doubt about it. So as we begin this journey, if you're an apprentice and you're starting this journey, enjoy it, have fun, be cautious. If you're an Eastern Star and you're on this journey, and you're 5 degrees, read them. Learn of those 5 precious herons of the order. Understand who they are and their works that they've done as they progressed in their life. And when you are done with your studies, there's more to learn. Hey, that's just the start. And as you begin down that rabbit hole, that's when your eyes gonna come open. Please, whatever you do, drop some breadcrumbs along the way. I don't want nobody panicking. I don't want you panicking. I don't want you saying, am I a Christian? I don't want you questioning whether you're a Christian or not in the search and need for truth. I don't want you doing that to yourself, for real. So look, enjoy yourselves. Please, whatever you do, don't forget to wash your hands every day after you've been someplace and you've gone out the house. If you got a mask on, please, you know, they're not letting people into some of the stores here in California unless you have a mask on. I don't know what it's doing in your area, but please get yourselves masks and gloves. Take care of yourself. Love on yourself. Hey, trust me, it's going to be all right. So, peace and blessings until we meet again. Assalamu alaikum. Whatever you do, stay out the bushes and keep your light on. I'm out.